Hello students, today's topic is disorders of purine metabolism. So most common disorder of purine metabolism is hyperuricemia, or increased uric acid level. Increased uric acid in blood. So we have to know the normal uric acid level, which is 2 to 5 milligram per deciliter in females and 3 to 7 milligram per deciliter in males. So hyperuricemia in males is more than 7 milligram per deciliter, and in females, if it is more than 6 milligram per deciliter, then it is said to have hyperuricemia. So the most common cause of hyperuricemia is gout. So this gout is characterized by increased serum uric acid level or hyperuricemia. Then uric acid deposits So crystals of uric acid, also known as monosodium urate monohydrate or MSUM, monosodium urate monohydrate crystal deposits in the synovial fluids of joints, then under the skin, then cartilage, skin, and soft tissues. Soft tissues like kidney, the kidney tubules. So it may lead to kidney stones or renal calculi or urolithiasis, and it is with consequent inflammation of the joints, leading to arthritis. So this is known as gouty arthritis, and there may be also nodular masses of MSUM crystals in the distal joints of foot, which are known as tophi. So these are the characteristics of gout. Now the types of gout. Gout can be of major two types. Primary gout and secondary gout. Primary gout is mainly because of overproduction of uric acid, and 10% of primary gout is idiopathic. That means without a definite cause. Now, and it may show familial incidence. So causes of primary gout. Number one is abnormal glutamine ERPP amidotransferase enzyme. So its abnormality is in that it is not sensitive to feedback regulation by the end products, which leads to overproduction of purine nucleotides and uric acid. Next is abnormal enzyme PRPP synthetase. So it is not subject to normal allosteric control mechanisms, leading to overproduction of purine nucleotides and overproduction of uric acid. So there is hyperuricemia and gout. Next is deficiency of the enzymes of salvage pathway. So when there is deficiency of the enzymes of salvage pathway, the PRPP will accumulate and there is decreased purines. So there is decreased feedback inhibition. So through the de novo synthetic pathway, there is overproduction of purine nucleotides. So there is more uric acid. Next is glucose 6 phosphatase deficiency. So glucose 6 phosphatase deficiency occurs in von Gier's disease. It is also known as type 1 glycogen storage disease. Here, if glucose 6 phosphatase is deficient, then glucose cannot be converted into glucose, or glucose 6 phosphate cannot be converted into glucose. So it enters the HMP shunt pathway. So there is increased ribose 5-phosphate. So there is increased PRPP. So there is increased purine nucleotides and increased uric acid. Next is abnormal glutathione reductase enzyme. So glutathione reductase is NADPH dependent. So there are two products of HMP shunt. One is NADPH, another is ribose 5-phosphate. So if there is abnormal glutathione reductase enzyme, so NADPH production is less from pentose phosphate pathway and ribose 5-phosphate production will be more. So if there is more ribose 5-phosphate, more PRPP will be there, so more purine nucleotides, so more uric acids. So these are the causes of primary gout. Now secondary gout. Secondary gout means it is secondary to some other cause. Secondary gout may be due to overproduction of uric acid. Causes are increased turnover rate of nucleic acids, like rapidly growing malignant tissues or malignant tumors like leukemia, lymphoma. Next is increased tissue breakdown. After treatment of large malignant tumors, like treatments like chemotherapy. Number 3 is increased tissue damage or tissue breakdown due to trauma and increased rate of catabolism in starvation. So this is due to increased production of uric acid. Next is due to reduced excretion of uric acid. Reduced excretion of uric acid. So this may be due to renal failure. Kidney cannot excrete uric acid. Number 2, treatment with thiazide diuretics. Treatment with thiazide diuretics which inhibit tubular secretion of uric acid. Number 3 is lactic acidosis. And ketoacidosis due to interference with tubular secretions. So these are the types of gout. Next is clinical findings. I have already told you about some of the clinical findings. There may be gouty arthritis, which affects the first metatarso-phalangeal joint of the big toe, but other joints may also be affected. There is early morning pain precipitated by high purine diet or increased intake of alcohol, and in chronic cases tophi may occur in the joints, and there is kidney stones also. Treatment is decrease purine intake, purine containing diet, and decrease alcohol. Number 2, drugs. Uricosuric drugs, or those drugs which increases the excretion of uric acid from kidney tubules or decreases the reabsorption of uric acid from kidney tubules, like probenecid. Next is one drug known as allopurinol. So allopurinol is a hypoxanthine analog. So it has a structural resemblance with hypoxanthine. So allopurinol is acted upon by xanthine oxidase to form alloxanthine or oxypurinol. Now this alloxanthine is an effective inhibitor of xanthine oxidase. So this is an example of suicide inhibitor. So when xanthine oxidase is inhibited, uric acid is not formed. So this is the mechanism of action. Next is colchicine. This drug is an anti-inflammatory drug. And it reduces the arthritis. So this is about gout. Next disorder is Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. This is an X-linked inherited disorder. Incidence is 1 in 10,000 males, and here there is deficiency of the enzyme hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase, which is an enzyme of the cell-based pathway. So when there is deficiency of this enzyme, there is decreased cell-based pathway, so there is accumulation of phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate as well as decreased inhibitory purine nucleotides. So when there is decreased feedback inhibition by purine nucleotides, there is increased production of purine nucleotides by de novo synthesis. So there is increased uric acid level. So there is hyperuricemia. Clinical findings: there is self-mutilation or self-destructive behavior, self-mutilation. There is mental retardation. There is kidney stones. And gout also develops in the later life. And the neurological manifestations suggest that the brain is dependent on the salvage pathway for purine synthesis. Number 3 disorder is known as severe combined immunodeficiency, SCID. Severe combined immunodeficiency. This is an autosomal recessive disorder, and it is due to deficiency of the enzyme adenosine deaminase. So we know that the function of this enzyme adenosine deaminase is to convert adenosine into inosine. So when it is deficient, so it cannot be converted into inosine. That is why there is increased adenosine and there is increased DATP up to 50 to 100 times, and this inhibits the enzyme ribonucleotide reductase, and which is responsible for production of deoxyribonucleotides. So when there is decreased deoxyribonucleotide synthesis, there is decreased DNA synthesis. So there is decreased T and B lymphocytes, leading to deficiency of cell mediated and humoral immunity. So T cells are responsible for cell mediated immunity, B cells are responsible for humoral immunity. So there is combined T cell and B cell immunodeficiency. That is why it is known as severe combined immunodeficiency. Treatment is complete isolation from the environment to protect from infection. That is why it is also known as bubble boy disease. And gene therapy has also been successful in severe combined immunodeficiency. So this is about disorders of purine metabolism.